All right, so our Sammy, the starter, is ready. He smells good. He's already peaked and he's starting to fall. So we are going to make a double chocolate chip with Heath. So never made one before. This will be the first time. I have made a double chocolate chip one. Never put Heath bars in it. So we're actually gonna mix all this up and I'm gonna let it bulk ferment overnight, and then I'm actually gonna bake it in the morning. So you wanna make sure that your scale is zeroed out, and then we're gonna put 350 grams of water, and then we're gonna put 100 grams of starter. So we've got our 100 grams of starter, and now we're gonna mix this together. So this is mixed up, and we're gonna put it back on the scale and make sure it's zeroed out. And so to this, we're gonna add 50 grams of cocoa powder. And we're gonna add 80 grams of brown sugar. And then we're gonna add 10 grams of salt. Just a smidge of vanilla. And then we're gonna add 500 grams of bread flour. And then we're gonna take it off the scale and put these to the side because we do not need these anymore. So we're gonna mix this up. And then when it gets very hard to start mixing, I'm gonna put on a glove and do it by hand to make sure all the flour gets incorporated, because you do not want dry pockets of flour in your bread. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you can see that white right there. That's some of the flour that has not been mixed up. So you want to make sure you got all of that mixed up, because you do not want to bake like that. So we've got this all mixed up, all the flour is going, everything's incorporated. So we're gonna let this rest on the counter for an hour, and then we'll come back and do our stretch and fold. So it's been an hour, and we're gonna do our first stretch and fold, but we're gonna put our inclusions in. So I've got semi-sweet chocolate chips, and then I've got the Heath. I've also got my hand wet because this dough is probably gonna be pretty sticky. And then every time I do my fold, I'm gonna add more of the chocolate chips and more of the Heath bars. Okay. And you want to do the stretches, but you do not want to tear your dough, because that's not good. Okay, so that was our first stretch and fold. I'm going to put more on top, so that way while it's fermenting for these 30 minutes, it can incorporate a little bit better. And we will come back in 30 minutes for our second stretch and fold. Now we're going to do our second stretch and fold. And I can already tell that the dough is getting stronger. I'm gonna do this, and it's not sticking to my hand as much. So we're gonna cover this again. I'm gonna do 2 more stretch and folds, but I'll come back for the last one, and then that's when, after we do that one, we're gonna let it bulk ferment overnight. Our 4th and final stretch and fold. And we're gonna do the same thing that we did with the other stretch and folds. Make sure you pull up on it, but don't tear the dough. And I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna flip it. You can also do column folds if you wanna do that instead of the stretch and folds. So we're done. We're gonna cover this up and let it bulk ferment. Right now it's a little after 5 o'clock. So I'm gonna cover this and let it bulk ferment all night long, and then we will end up baking it in the morning. Join me tomorrow when we bake this and see how yummy it is.